President Donald Trump's administration sent thousands more troops to Los Angeles on a fourth day of chaotic protests against those immigration raids. Also, unrest spreading to other parts of the United States. But let's focus initially on LA and California. Here's a little of the war of words between the state governor Gavin Newsom and President Trump.
The hell is this guy? Come after me, arrest me. Let's just get it over with. Tough guy. The hell are they doing? These guys need to grow up. They need to stop.
He's an incompetent governor. Look at the job he's doing in California. He's destroying one of our great states. And if I didn't get involved, if we didn't bring the Guard in, and we would bring more in if we needed it, because we have to make sure there's going to be law and order. You had a disaster happening.
Well, let's turn to Drexel Heard II, who's a political strategist and former executive director of the Los Angeles Democratic Party, joining us from Los Angeles. And perhaps I can start, if I may, Mr. Heard. You'll have been watching the local media, listening possibly to local radio stations. What do you understand to be the situation tonight in your city? Good morning.
Good morning, Nick, and good morning to your listeners. Listen, I think one of the things that Donald Trump thought was going to happen was that there was going to be chaos in Los Angeles. His version of chaos is all made up in his head and has been since January 20th. And what we're seeing are peaceful protests all across the city. Yeah, there's a handful of political agitators, but no more than what we say when the Dodgers won the World Series, the excitement around the city. So I think, Donald Trump is trying to instill fear and using Los Angeles as a test case.
But Drexel, here in London, I'm holding up a copy of the Times, or the London Times, as you would call it, and there on the front page is someone, a protester, waving a Mexican flag from the roof of a burning car surrounded by flames. How would you define that, Drexel?
Well, look, I think there's going to be a lot of pockets, where there are going to be political agitators. There's no one who is going to deny that there are agitators in every political protest movement. But that does not mean that what Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth and the federal government are out there saying is reality here in Los Angeles. I was driving around LA today, through Hollywood today, no protests out there. But when downtown earlier this morning had a peaceful protest, calling for the release of SEIU President David Huerta as he was released this morning. That was a peaceful protest.
I've gone inside of the newspaper now. There's people standing on police cars that have been torched and graffitied. There's an Australian TV journalist who's been shot in the leg, and there's tear gas being deployed by, I think the National Guard on a bridge in Los Angeles. Are you in the same city?
Look, I think that, like I said, that's a great question. No, listen, I think you can find any portion in any news story and get a great shot of one person that doesn't reflect what's happening across Los Angeles right now, that doesn't reflect the peaceful protests that we've had since Friday, talking about the raids and the aggression that ICE has brought to our city. The governor has called it out, the mayor of Los Angeles has called it out, and leaders all across Los Angeles have called it out. So, listen, it's one thing in the social media world, and I always caution our viewers, as you all know, across the world, one photograph does not indicate a reality, and what Donald Trump has been trying to trump up is not reality.
How is the situation to be diffused, Drexel?
Well, that's a great question. Listen, I think first, ICE has to kind of stop their aggression towards communities, especially our immigrant communities here in Los Angeles. I think the governor and the mayor, the governor of California and the mayor, have to remind the folks and continue to remind the people that political agitators and peaceful protesters are two different people. They need to coordinate with our local law enforcement, LAPD, LASD, our CHP officers, and say, hey, listen, these are the folks you need to focus on. These are the other and peaceful protesters have a First Amendment right to talk about and to protect our communities and talk about what's right. And I think that that's the way that they need to start to handle that situation as it is.
All right. I'm going to leave it there. You look after yourself, buddy. Thank you for your time. Drexel Heard II, political strategist, and you were executive director of the Los Angeles Democratic Party, and you're joining us from Los Angeles. They're setting fire to these driverless Waymo cars. I don't know if you're familiar with those. I think they're owned by Google, so presumably that's why they're in their sights.